Why do you always get set like you're going to fight somebody?
I'm ready.
All right.
This is Kim and Neil with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching.
What's up, America? What happened to that?
Today we're going to talk about what we're not going to do in 2024. We're going to talk about some New Year's resolutions for shooting and firearms. So let's get into it.
It's going to throw them off.
No, we switched spots.
They won't know what happened.
Number 1, stop buying guns and things before you know what you want and what you need.
And you don't know what you want or need by watching YouTube videos.
So if you are in the first bucket, which is people who are interested in getting into firearms, the first thing when they call me and they go, I'm interested, I want to learn about shooting, I go, have you bought a gun yet?
When they say yes, it's the wrong gun.
When they say no, and they're like, I'm ready, I say, wait, hold on, come do a lesson with me. Let me show you some stuff. We have a whole video about picking a firearm for yourself. And no, there's not like a one size fits all. This is the perfect gun for everybody. So if you haven't bought a gun yet, congratulations, you're gonna save yourself a lot of money because you can go and find what you really want and buy the correct thing versus buying something and then finding out it's really not for you.
And why do they generally end up with the wrong gun? Well, not to reiterate another video we already did, but here's what happens. They go to a gun place where they sell guns and they say, I want to conceal carry. And then the person behind the counter goes, oh, let's find you a very small gun that you can conceal carry, which would be the wrong gun to learn on. And since you're at step 1 of this long journey, we don't need to worry about step 10. We need to start at step 1. So we need to get the right gun to begin with.
And I have 2 different people I'm going to tell you about. One is a lady, she's probably going to watch this video because she comes and does lessons with me. She wanted to get into shooting, went to the gun store, she bought a gun that she thought she was getting a really great deal on. She also got a shotgun, she got a holster, she got a gun cleaning kit, and not saying that gun shop took advantage of her, but she walked away and paid a pretty little penny just to find out that that gun wasn't a good fit for her. And instead of her starting off with me, like person number 2, who called me up and said, hey, I want to get into shooting, where I did a lesson with them, I helped them pick the right firearm, and in the end, they ended up saving money because they had to learn how to shoot anyways, and they didn't buy the wrong gun first. They were able to pick which one they really wanted. So just something to think about.
And to be clear, it's not like, hey, only come to us. Like 99.99999% of everybody that's ever going to watch any video that we've ever made is not going to come train with us. Find somebody in your area. And by the way, I guess I'll jump ahead a little bit here into the future. Let's support good people in the industry. So if you have a good trainer, he or she is a good person, which we'll talk about in a minute, at doing their job, then get people to go to that person. Support that. We want people to starting not just in 2024, but forever in the right path of gun ownership and protecting themselves.
Let's talk about if you already bought a gun. Stop buying stuff. Don't buy a weapon-mounted light if you don't have training, because if you want to see something hilarious, you should come to Defensive Pistol Level 3 where we do half day, half night, and it's like a fun house. There's like strobe lights going off because these people have been carrying it on their gun for years and thought they knew what they were doing, but you add that stress and some training in there and they realized maybe that light wasn't right for them.
And seeing it in the movies is not training. I want to be clear on that. Also, holsters. Don't buy a holster. Why would you buy a holster? Don't carry a gun. Why would you carry a gun if you have no training on it? It's like saying, hey, I have no idea how to use this chainsaw. I'm just going to go start going at trees. Like, I think you'd want to know some training and understanding on how what you're doing is important so you don't get hurt.
Yeah, so get the training, take the time, learn what you really want and what you really need, and then you can invest in a holster, because that money you spent on a holster and a carry system, you could have taken that and used that towards training to put you even closer to carrying.
Yeah, and the odds of you having the right gun and the right holster right off the bat are like, you probably should play the lottery. I mean, it's just probably not going to happen because there's different strokes for different folks. You got to learn what works best for you. And finding all of that the very first time, that's craziness. So, as Kim said, you're just going to end up spending more money when you end up buying the right stuff later on. Not only are we talking about handguns, we're also talking about rifles. People are, they'll write to me and say, hey, I want to come to my first lesson and You know, is this the right optic? Should I buy this optic? Should I buy that optic? Like, we are so far down the road. Like, let's just start with the basics. Let's learn the fundamentals. Let's learn how to use the gun. And then we can start adding things that will actually enhance us, instead of buying all these gizmos and gadgets just because you saw it on TV.
Let's do number 2.
That was only number 1? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. What's number 2?
Stop practicing missing at the range.
Okay. Is there more than 2? Do we have more than 2?
Number 2, stop going to the range and practicing missing. If you really think about it, now really think about it. When you go to the range, I want you to look at what everyone's doing. I want you to jump in.
Oh, I'm supposed to jump in. Practicing insanity. They're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, person A comes in, they have 10 rounds in their gun. They shoot 3 decent rounds, 7 not decent at all. So mathematically, 70% of their shots were not good. 70. So if we think about this, if our intentions are to get better, we're way past the halfway point of actually spending our time getting worse. So what's the person A do then? Well, they load 10 more rounds in there, put them back in the gun, and they shoot, hoping for better results. But they're not doing anything to actually get better, which is where training comes in.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, don't give them all our secret sauce.
Oh. Okay.
So when we're doing lessons with people, if you begin to miss, we'll stop you there, and then we change it up and we do something different, because obviously what
But we're not going to tell you what that is.
all of our bag of tricks that we pull out, but it's true. We're not sitting there. We don't want to go to the range and build bad habits. We want to go to the range and get better and practice. You're literally just wasting your money on rounds that are missing and creating bad habits. So stop practicing missing. So if you want to do number 3. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Number 3, and this one's specifically about instructors. Okay. Stop looking at instructors like, my dad is going to beat up your dad. I see this all the time, arguments all the time, because someone's going to say they're going to do something different than somebody else, and they say, well, my instructor said this, well, my instructor said that, well, my instructor was a samurai ninja delta specialist, or whatever, blah, 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 right? And they come back with this resume. First of all, no one gives a... I can't say that, huh? Mm-hmm. First of all, no one cares, because your instructor's not there. You are. And just because they have a skill level, that doesn't mean that you suddenly obtain that, okay? And the reason I say this is because a lot of people choose people based on this immense background. And I can just tell you this, obviously you want to vet your instructor, you want somebody who's obviously qualified. But you're starting here, this is your knowledge base, you're brand new, you know nothing. So this person may have just a couple certifications in something, and they're not, you know, they didn't jump out of helicopters or whatever. You're like, well, that guy or that girl isn't the instructor for me. I want the person with this crazy resume of stuff. Why? It's like learning to drive a car. You don't need to employ, you know, Mario Andretti to teach you how to drive a car for the first time. What we really need to know is obviously, are they a legitimate instructor? Do they have some certifications? Do they get some training? Do they have a better knowledge base and understanding than you do? And the most important one that everyone overlooks because they just want the flashy resume is, can they actually teach? That's a skill. It's a separate skill, and a skill that unfortunately I see a lot of times. I've seen lots of instructors, we're both instructors ourselves, and the one thing I see missing in this industry and a lot of times is that component. Can I actually take this material and give it to you in a way that you will understand it? And then the last part of all that is that you must do your homework. So just because you went to a class for 2 hours, 10 hours, 3 days, 10 days, it doesn't matter. What you have to do is take that knowledge, that skill set, those techniques, and practice them on your own at home or on the range or whatever to get better at it. That person cannot magically transfer that to you. You have to do the work yourself. Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. Sorry, I fixed my hair at the end. It was on my face.
Instructors, of course, can come in all different varieties, backgrounds, shapes, sizes, the whole 9 yards. Just because someone doesn't appear to be a special operator doesn't mean that they don't have the skill set to make you a great shooter.
Sometimes you just want a ginger.
Or sometimes you want his soulless gingers. Take your soul. Like
All
me.
right.
To wrap this all up, this is being filmed on the 1st of 2024, which is always funny because who knows when you're going to be watching this, probably years later. At the end of the day, we just want everyone to get some qualified training in, maximize your dollar by not spending money on stuff that you don't even know if you need or want, or if it's even right for you, and get into this journey the right way.
That's right. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like, a share, a thumbs up, comment. We really appreciate it. YouTube doesn't like to push our videos because they're not fans of our content. So the more you like it, share it, comment, it helps us a lot. Of course, you can find us here on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, on Instagram. We put our content on Rumble. And of course, we put all of our premium content on Patreon. For example, today, right after this video, I'm going to be posting a
Don't tell them the secret.
a fun video with a printable target at home. You can find the link for our Patreon below. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.